Case study. We'll be covering the euro dollar today. Trades I took like the usual in New York session today. I sent screenshots in the Discord, but of course I will be covering how I took them and why I took them. So we'll start off just flipping around here. I think the hourly looks the nicest for this, but we'll go over to before New York session. Cool. So this is what I was technically looking at. I saw that. Let's just go on to 15. We'll see a little bit better what's going on. So Asia kind of building equal lows. And then we went long, okay, to induce buyers in the market. This is not going to be an area we want to be buying from, as we know. You can see how the market actually ended up reacting to this area here, stabbed into the smart money trap just to build more liquidity at the lows. And on the 5-minute, I believe, there was a clean entry in London here. So took out the low to induce sellers. This is going to be a trap area. We do not want to be trading from here. Look how the market stabs into it at 250 just before London open. And then London opens up. We get a spike up, grabbing that liquidity, trapping the sellers. Okay. And then if you go on the 1-minute, for entries, you had, so red London open. We're actually, sorry, 9 minutes after. We spike above the highs, trap sellers, grab that liquidity. We get a reaction down. We get a high printed, a low printed, and same old thing go over and over. Look how we take out the low to induce sellers. We do not want to be selling right here. Wait for it to get taken out. And it gets taken out. This is a whole liquidity block area. So how can we take this entry? As soon as this high is stabbed, we can take the sell. Stop goes above the high. Perfect. And where do we target? Well, I believe someone took this in the Discord, but clean target would be down here. You have one low over here, or you could have just done this since this area is essentially mitigated, right? So you can grab that low if you want. And if you targeted this low down here, you would have been looking at about a 1 to 5, 1 to 6, depending on how big your stop loss was. So you're looking at a nice 1 to 5 here in London. Perfect. And then target was hit. Let's go back to the hourly. Check this out. Cool. So target was hit. We ended up taking this low out, which is now trapped buyers. Anybody in this area looking to buy from this false POI, they get trapped. Okay, we spike through that, and now they get liquidated out of the market. Cool. So let's go to closer to New York. Perfect. So what happened here? So again, we run that liquidity from the left-hand side. Look how we start edging up, okay? And we start squeezing. Look how like we have this kind of buildup going on here, right? And then we get that random sell-off. Okay, what does that sell-off do? Well, this induces sellers into the market. This is going to be traps. Okay, all these areas here. If we get reactions up here, it's just going to be a trap. Okay, just like this. Okay, perfect. So we get that sell-off. Again, look how the market comes up, reacts off this, reacts off this. How do we take advantage? Well, I went on the 15 and I noticed that we grabbed all these lows. So this became a liquidity block for me. Okay, you go into the 5-minute and look what kind of price action we're getting here. We stab into this smart money trap and we get a low printed. And then we break that high and react off this false area again. So we're kind of creating this structure for liquidity, or sorry, for retail. And as we know, we do not want to be buying below, or sorry, above this low. This is going to be trap. Okay, we're going to wait for price to stab below it, and that is where we will be pressing buy. And of course, where's our stop going? Below the liquidity block. Okay, so that this would have been how you could have taken your entry. This is how I took my entry. And we trade into the smart money trap area and then stab right through it. There we get tagged in. Perfect. Stop goes below the low. Okay. Now there was 2 entry opportunities. One would have been when we stab the low, just like how I took it here, or we get a close above, leaving us a liquidity block. And this could have been a pullback entry for you. Next candle comes in, tags us in. Cool, we get tagged in. And stop goes below the liquidity block. And where can we target? Simple stuff. Look how we have a nice inducement high up here. We've also left, look at all this liquidity we've left to the upside. So we can simply target this high up here. Okay. Boom, boom. And we end up moving to the upside quite nicely. We stall at this smart money trap over here. Again, same old thing. It's just reacting to build more liquidity. Take out the high. And we've also taken out this. A pullback should occur here. Boom, pullback. And then we take out the high again and continue up, I believe, here. There it is, and targets met. Okay, so the pullback entry would have been around a 1 to 6. And the extreme, since the stop was able to be a little bit smaller, you could have got like a 1 to 8, 1 to 9, something like that, however big your stop is. But yeah, those are the two entries there in New York. And then obviously we had later news today. So I was able to take one more entry. Let's get close to the news. The news was at 2 p.m. my time. Was it 2 p.m.? I don't even remember. I guess it was earlier. Maybe I'm tripping out. I don't know. But either way, I took an entry here. So as we know, we ended up taking out this low, leaving a liquidity block. Okay, so anywhere in this area. So you can see how we actually ended up selling off. I wasn't home at this time. So anywhere in here would have been, anywhere within this imbalance was essentially a valid entry. But since I wasn't home when this wick happened, I had to wait until we came back down. So we came up, respected the highs, and then we sold off back to the lows. And essentially anywhere below this was going to be a buy, okay? Because we had this liquidity block area down here. Okay, so essentially anywhere below this, it could have technically came all the way here, but do I need to get that intricate? No, it's not necessary. So I waited for price to stab the low, buy like this, and stop below the liquidity block, just like that. And where can we target? Well, you could have partialed. Look how we left relative equals up here because price came up, engineered liquidity, sold off, fake sell off. What's going to be this classic trap? We do not want to be selling from there. And we end up running those highs here. So this would have been a good partial point. And then we want to probably hold the rest to up here. Delete replay to see where we're at now. But now we are sitting right here. So I am probably going to hold the rest to this high, and then I'm keeping an eye on this NFP high that we've spoke about a couple times in the Discord. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm definitely going to be paying myself again above this high. So we're about 10 pips away. We'll see how what Asia does the rest of the day, and then obviously London and New York the next day. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this case study, and I will see you guys in the next.